Howdy folks, Bluesboyjag here with a wood cigar box guitar. This is tuned to an open G chord by popular demand. And I take the 5th, 4th, 3rd, and 2nd strings of a regular electric guitar set. I tune the A string down to a G. That's the only change that I make to tune it to open G. The reason I tune it to open G is most people prefer G because most people play blues on these cigar box guitars. Now, you do not have to tune to G. And of course, you don't have to play blues. You can play rock and roll, metal, pop, whatever, country, bluegrass. Any kind of music can be played on any instrument. Same applies to cigar box guitar. So let me show you what we got here. The 4 screws there are the pull pieces for the hand-wound magnetic pickup. I make all my pickups myself. They're not transducers. I don't like how transducers sound. So I decided what the heck, I'm going to make my own pickups. So I wind my own 6,000 wind single coil like a Strat. I've got a regular volume knob right here. Bolt for a bridge. Up here, bolt for a nut. You can hang it on the wall. This is how it sounds, cranked up through a 65 Fender Princeton. That's what it sounds like with the slide, and here's finger style. More about the guitar here. I use the regular wire frets that you'd find on any store-bought guitar manufactured in the past 60, 75 years. Regular wire frets you'd find on any guitar. And I put the fret markers on the side here, and of course fret markers on the front so you know where you're at. I sign all the guitars and I number all the guitars. And this is a pretty, it's a light guitar, but it's not too light. It's got a little bit of weight in the back here, so it sits real well with your strap. I got strap holders so you can use a regular old regular strap. So it's got a good sound. It balances really well. When you crank this thing up, it's got a really good distortion sound, kind of like an old-timey Fender tube amp kind of distortion sound, which is has a lot to do with the hand-wound pickup. My pickups are designed specifically for the cigar box guitars. I got 4 bolts down there, 1 for each string. So it's not a 6-string pickup. It's not a bass pickup, a regular guitar pickup, and it's made for 4 strings. Now I prefer to use 10 to 46 electric guitar strings. You can use any brand, doesn't matter, your preference. I prefer 10 to 46 simply because if it's open tuned and you're playing with your fingers, which you should be if you're open tuned, then you're going to be banging on the guitar and you're going to be hitting it pretty hard. And lighter gauge strings just don't work so well that way. When you use your fingers to pick on the strings, you're putting a whole lot more stress on it than if you would use a pick. A pick just slightly, drags across the strings, and that's how you play it with a pick. With your fingers, you're really banging it. You're really pulling on those strings a lot. So slightly heavier gauge strings is what I prefer. Now you can put whatever gauge on here that you want. 9s are going to be a little iffy. Might be a little thin for finger style. Now if you use a pick, they'll be fine. Now I highly recommend using your fingers to play blues. There's just no contest. There's stuff you can do with your fingers, just cannot do with a pick. And it sounds more traditional, sounds more authentic as far as playing the old-timey blues kind of thing, and bottleneck and bluegrass and that sort of stuff. There's lots and lots of licks that you can play with your fingers that you just can't do with the pick. So I pretty much 99% use my fingers. Even when I'm playing rock and roll on a regular guitar, I use my fingers, because once you get the hang of it, you'll never go back to a pick. So I also include a free slide and a free how to play cigar box guitar video CD with every order. I also make cases, handmade, yes, handmade, wood cases for my cigar box guitars. I also make 6-string cigar box guitars, been doing that for a while as well. And I make boogie board foot stompers, suitcase bass drums, and sell the pickup separately for anybody out there who's making their own cigar box guitars. And I make the amps out of the smaller boxes. So it's all at jagshouse.com. Thanks.